Hey everybody, Josh the RV Nerd of Bish's RV here again. Welcome back to the regular return of members of the RV Nerd Herd. This thing behind us is just over, it's about 22 and a half foot long tip to tail, tandem axle, lightweight, taller ceiling, true queen bed. It is a very nice, very easily towable, lighter, smaller, less expensive little couples camper. It was previously known up until last year as the 192 RBS. It's been kind of revamped and reset into the new 19 SE that you're looking at here. But you might notice, really, for the most part, she's all there. You still got the double Lasdell sidewalls. I love the new look of this. Personally, I think this is one of the best looking generations of Freedom Express I've seen, and I've been looking at these things for going on a decade now. The underbelly of this, it is enclosed. They still include the double propane tanks. They do an interesting thing where they actually tongue mount their spare tire, so it's easier to get to, and it also helps with load equalization because weight on the front of the RV tows a little bit better than weight on the back, which reminds me, it also still has a very generous front pass-through. This is not the kind of camper, though, where if you look at it like, boy, I wish that had a theater seat. Is there an option for that? There is no capacity for that, and we'll explain that as we go. It's a jackknife kind of sleeper sofa with a pull-out Dinofa table in case you want to do a little bit of, indoor or outdoor munching is kind of how this one works out. It's prepped if you want to throw some solar on it. It doesn't have any solar from the factory. This is where the whole Freedom Express family starts, and then it gets bigger, flashier, fancier from there. Like you might notice this one doesn't have a fiberglass nose cap, but that also saves money and cost. Nose caps look cool, but generally speaking, don't actually add any sort of real function to the camper. I love the fact, again, that it's still extra tall. It still has the true queen bed. And really, for no bigger than it is, the storage on the countertop space is pretty excellent. But like I've already mentioned, it has a couple things that are awesome, and it has a couple things that are not. And I want to point out both of those as we go to give you a fair look at things today. And I want to hear from you. What do you think about it? What do you like? What do you dislike? And if you like the candid approach we give you, hit that subscribe button and let's get started. And I don't know if it's just because it's a super light, bright, amazingly pleasant sunny day with clear skies outside, or if the lighting in here is just on the dimmer side of things. It feels slightly dark in here, and I don't think it's the decor's fault. Like, it's not actually that dark of a decor. It's just kind of how it's striking me here, because if you're looking overall, you've got a little bit of the darker brown accents, but for the most part, you've got some pretty light, wall panels and everything to open the space up. This model also is very great for like those spring and fall trips where you want just the nice pleasant cross breeze going on through the RV. It has plenty of cross breeze airflow capacity. Now, both sides of the bed benefit from these handy little outlets that we're looking at down there. I would kind of prefer them up closer to the headboard area of the bed, but as I say that, I'm noticing that this has the headboard power pockets, where basically you've got your hanging wardrobe towers, and then you've got some shelves behind it. What I don't know is if there's some sort of outlet back there. Let me go peek at that. And yes, actually, there is. I actually really like how they accomplished this here. So there's not USBs in both of these pockets. There's households in both of the pockets, but they look to be like CPAP machine kind of size friendly, or like, phone charge pad friendly. And by having that little grommet hole running up through there, if you wanted to have a charge station up here and like a little phone or book storage below, you could do that pretty easily. So there we go. By the way, sometimes people will ask in my videos, like, why can't the manufacturers ever make the bed properly? They do. When I make my videos, I'm crawling all over everything to get you all that extra little footage there, to get you around in those little nooks and crannies. And as a result, I tend to, basically it's my fault. It's not their fault. Now, this is a smart TV, and it's on a swing arm bracket, but it's a single arm swing arm, and it's really designed to swing toward the bed. When I'm sitting here on the left side of the sofa, all the way against the wall, it looks pretty good, but I'm not going to lie. The camera is not directly in front of my face. If I move the camera over here directly in front of my face, like you're sitting on the sofa, that's what you look at. Now, is it terrible? No. Let me slide over to the other side of the sofa here. Sorry for the jouncing on the camera. Again, it's not awesome. You could tilt it this way a little bit, but I wish they used a double joint swing arm instead of a single. I think that would eliminate a lot of this. Actually, while I'm down here, being a slightly taller person, I don't get to see easily under overhead cabinets to locate things like power outlets. Now, you might notice you've got a set of outlets there. You also have a couple little switches. Those are for things like our ceiling lights and whatnot. A cool thing they do is against the bottom of the kitchen counter cabinets, basically the kitchen counter cabinets against the bottom of the cabinetry over here on the right hand side. It's actually where they have a awning control switch, so that you can be like outside and just reach in the door, open and close your awning. But things like your water heater controls, your slide outs, those are protected away a little bit more. I remember the previous version of this had like a little wastebasket over there that I actually really liked, and I see that that's gone now. So that must have been one of the things that just didn't make the cut in the new SE edition. The oven did, though. There's a lot of brands, like the oven's the single most expensive appliance in the kitchen. And that's why a lot of RV manufacturers have axed ovens so that they could make their RVs less expensive very quickly. And that's obviously not what Freedom Express has done here. They've left it with a fully equipped kitchen, including the larger 12-volt compressor fridge with the bottom like freezer chest style drawer. Now, this floor plan is excellent for travel access. I'll close the slide up for you, but this floor plan doesn't even need a slide out to be like fully functional, essentially. Like, you can get to and access every single thing in this when the slide is closed, including like the converter fuse box you saw a second ago. And I was surprised, actually pleasantly slow. Yeah, okay, fine. So that the overhead cabinet doors above the sofa here were a more self-supporting variety. And as you saw in our earlier floor plan in a flash, she also includes a handy little picnic table. Well, for total candor and clarity, not technically a picnic table, but you get the idea. You got a little Dinofa table here. It can store very easily under the bed, by the way. And although theater seating is not necessarily possible here, they do at least give you a simulated theater seat with a little incliner kickouts. And although that can fold down into a sleeper, admittedly, it is a small sleeper. That is not much to write home about. And you might be wondering, like, so why can't it be a theater seat? It goes to the floor. It actually doesn't. The slide-out floor is actually just below the sofa. You can actually see it right there if you look under this. The slide out is above the wheel well, which extends above the floor. So the slide out actually has to float and hover above the wheel well. Otherwise, it just wouldn't cooperate very well. So that's the reason we don't have a true theater seat or hide-a-bed option swaption on this thing. It's just kind of, well, it's also the reason that the RV is lighter weight and less cost, And down by the floor, you got like a little shoe cubby. You're going to have to probably dig in there quite a bit to get to it. But you have a very respectable pantry size over there, considering no larger than the RV actually is. And with this RV being 6'9" tall from floor to ceiling, it means that you have a little bit bigger overhead cabinet space, which is also nice. The RV does suffer from a little bit of a lack of countertop space. It is not a big camper. It doesn't have a ton of countertop prep space. That's just kind of how it is. But it does have one of the best storage solutions ever created for giving you silverware wrapping around the sink instead of wasting that space. And as we get down here, there's a couple things I don't know that I love. I don't know that I love the fact that there's no dedicated wastebasket space. Like, I feel like we already have plenty of shelving. I appreciate the fact that they've included a full oven, albeit not a large oven, but still an oven. There's a little dead pocket down here, and I feel like it's only a couple inches deep, but I cannot recall what's under there. I don't like flat-waisted dead pocket space. I would rather it do so. Oh, hold on. Bank error in your favor. You collect $200. Look at that. There's yet another drawer here that I forgot to display. I didn't pull that one out. So you do have good drawer space for no bigger than this little camper is. Now, the bed doesn't easy lift with struts, so what you got to kind of do is finagle it like I've done here, where what you're going to do is lift the mattress and then wedge the decking under it with the very lightweight backbreaker death wafer mattress that comes from the factory. That's not a difficult proposition whatsoever. The table that we talked about, like I said, it can store very easily under the bed. And I'm going to give you like a straight top-down view of this so that you get a better idea of the scope and scale of it. And I'm going to do that slow so I don't make you motion sick, but there's plenty of space in there. If I only look at that from a 45-degree angle, I don't know that you get to see the entirety of all the space that is available to you. Once again, it's worth mentioning that is a 60 by 80 true queen bed as well, and there is a privacy shade to pull down over that window. Now, it looks like in the SE series, we're not actually getting full cabinets above the bed. What we're getting here instead is just this kind of open shelf concept, I am looking at it and I think, yeah, we've got, wow, that's like a good 2-inch dip right there. That's 2 knuckles deep, effectively.
Phrasing.
Giving you a, pretty decent space if you want to put some baskets up there. You've got a little bit of hanging storage on both sides of the bed and a couple big drawers. Like, I almost want to put like a divider in this so I have separation of socks and undies, which is, I think, something that we were all constitutionally guaranteed as Americans, separation of socks and undies. I could be mistaken. I haven't visited my, civics class in a long time. Swinging over here to the bathroom. My voice is starting to fail me. Pardon me. You get a nice little reflection of me there in the mirror. You might notice we do have a little bit of the peekaboo, I smell you bathroom door, which I know that jelly is not everyone's jam, but it is what it is. Part of the reason that they do that here is, again, being fair with you, the RV does not have centrally ducted air. It is a single point drop-in air conditioner, and it's probably going to be fairly noisy looking at the type and the variety. Now, the elbow room and stuff around that toilet, it is very tight. It's not my favorite toilet kind of arrangement ever. And it used to be better, but this RV didn't used to have that dedicated cabinet space over there on the left side, nor did it have the fully glass enclosed shower that we're looking at. It used to have a like little trapezoidal tiny shower with a curtain that sucked against you. And it kind of sucked. Now, the headroom in that shower is excellent. The elbow room's a little questionable, but when it was the cheaper plastic shower base with just a cheap plastic shower curtain, it also sucked against you like a Jacques Cousteau squid, and that was not fun. So the thing is, this is a small camper. It's 22.5 feet. They couldn't include anything and everything they possibly wanted to in it. They had to be smart with the space. And that bathroom arrangement is one of the most space-efficient savings setups that you could hope to really get. And it's funny. It's such a small slide. It really begs the question, do you even need a slide out in this floor plan? I wonder that. I really wonder if there's not an opportunity to make a no-slide version of this, a 19SE no-slide. Now, you notice how the slide out, again, you can see how it's literally hovering above the floor. That's the reason that there's not a true theater seat or hide-a-bed option, because it would set you up so high in the air that your head would be smacking into those overhead cabinets and your feet would be dangling off the floor, and that is not a fun experience for most adults camping. But with the slide out closed, you notice we are very easily, readily accessible. This thing is an absolute, like, A minus travel access kind of camp right here. Bedroom, bathroom, all that stuff is very easily accessible. So if you like taking a look at the little road mode stuff, if you like how we give you the extra peeks and looks at stuff, maybe tap that little subscribe button if you're new with us. And again, whether it's good, bad, or ugly, we'll always do our best to shoot you straight. The towing factors on a camper like this, though, are probably some of its best qualities. I can ask the question, do you think the RV even needs a slide out? Chances are Coachman's not going to build one without a slide. We've asked, they haven't done it. They're probably not going to do it at this point, probably because it's been very popular in its current iteration. But just about basically 22.5 foot long, tandem axle, short, still a full 8 foot wide. It gives you a really nice balance and blend of space, feature, function, and towability, where you don't necessarily need the giant monster truck to haul this sucker around. Something I noticed, here in the SE series, we don't get things like the nice magnet holdbacks. We still have just those basic plastic clips. It's a little thing, but I know I get it. It's not everyone's favorite thing. Something everybody does like, though, is a huge front pass-through. Or as Elon Musk likes to call it, a frunk. So I got a question. What you gonna do with all that junk? All that junk inside that frunk? That's the question that I have for you right now. That's it right there. Let's talk a little construction. We do have a wood constructed roof. Interestingly, it has an aluminum perimeter, so it matches up better with the aluminum framed laminated sidewalls. They are vacuum laminating for those who are curious about which exact process is in play. They are also using Asdel composite paneling on the inside and outside layering of the sidewalls. They do have aluminum framing in the floor, but it is a 5/8 tongue and groove plywood floor decking as compared to a laminated floor as they had used in the past. It was rare, but they encountered a couple instances of some soft flooring, and the public perception of laminated flooring is not great. So they said, well, we just don't want to play in that market. I do appreciate the fact they still have like a propane tank cover, you know, because when the brands start offering like the SE series, they're more price sensitive series, you'll start losing things like spare tires, battery disconnects, tire pressure monitoring. But as we just saw, all rapid fire, all of that's right here. That yellow antenna is your tire pressure monitor relay. It does have a battery disconnect, has spare tire, power tongue jack, partridge in a pear tree. I also noticed they're using a higher speed awning motor. That sucker cooked in and out real fast, which is nice. That's not the world's biggest awning, but it's not the world's biggest camper. Just in front of the tires, a couple feet, there is a gas grill quick connect down there. So if you are wanting to do some outside grilling, you can. The underbelly of this, it is enclosed, and the RV does actually exhaust its stovetop vent outside of the camper, but it's white on white. It's a little bit difficult to see, but it does have a stovetop exhaust vent hood. The water heater looks to be a on-demand variety. So that means propane only. You need a little bit of electricity to run the circuit panel and the sparker, and other than that, it's going to run propane. A little misconception on those. People think that they sit there burning propane all the time. They only ignite when they're in use. So hopefully, I don't know, maybe that helps. The roof, by the way, it is walkable. It's just ladder prepped. The SE series doesn't actually have a ladder. When you move up into the full Freedom Express Ultra, which has the nose cap. Like if you look in the background over there, that's their front kitchen model. That one actually has a nose cap. That's an easy way to tell. Are you looking at a special edition or an Ultra? Right there you can tell. This is a single sewer outlet, but because the whole camper is lighter, the whole camper runs on a shorter, smaller chassis. So the sewer outlets, they do hang a little bit closer to the ground. The good news is that it's a shorter floor plan, so you don't have as much tail swing dipping them down to the ground. But, you know, speed bumps might be something you want to be really conscious of and cautious of. The back end here, it doesn't have a receiver hitch on the back. It has a bumper, but the chassis is prepped with receiver hitch brackets. So there's literally a hitch that you could bolt on the back of this where you're not actually modifying factory construction, and you could put a receiver hitch on the back for things like a bike rack without worrying about messing up your warranty. Now, if I do like Carol Ann and I step into the light over here, anybody remember that movie? I want to show you this little awning. It actually has little easy tilt adjust awning arms, and that's all it really takes. And now we've put a little bit of a pitch to the awning, but I want to give you a pro tip to avoid doing what I did. When I was putting it back up one time, I wanted to put my hand right in the middle of this elbow and push, and it will bite you. It will bite you really freaking hard. So make sure you grab one of the poles and then push it up that way. Now here's the thing. Let's say you forget to do that, and you go to close the awning. You left it cranked on at an angle as much as you could, and you close the awning up. It won't mess it up. Basically, it will retract and recoil the way it's supposed to, and next time you open it, it'll open out flat, and you can tilt it then if you want to. So it's idiot-proof, basically. Me. So let me know what you think about this one. I've given you the good, bad, ugly in between from my nerdy point of view, but that's just like my opinion, man. Like, well, what do you think about it? I don't know. There's no wrong answers here. If you think it sucks, say it sucks. If you think this is perfect, say it's perfect. Or not. I can't tell you what to do. What I will do, though, at your discretion, is I'll leave you some links in the video description that you can follow as you please to check pricing and availability on one of these. If we have one in stock, it'll have pricing readily available for you. If not, our local teams can assist you with figures anytime. I will also try to dig up a couple links to, like, Rockwood has a very similar floor plan to something like this, and they each do some good things that the other one doesn't. So let me know which one you'd go with and why. And until next time, take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.